This is a story of how I almost died. Okay, so it wasn't quite that dramatic, but it still could have happened. I mean, after all, I did climb a mountain all by myself, and I'm pretty sure people have died there before. So, hang on, because here we go. First off, I had to climb the bus, get into town as close as I could. Coming up on Holyrood Park? Holyrood? I forget what it's called. But there's the palace at Holyrood that I'm going to check out now. Of course, to get into the palace you had to make an appointment and buy tickets and all this stuff, and that wasn't really what I came here to see, but at least I got to see some of it. It looked pretty cool. Next, it was off to the park. Getting really excited now. Just the closer I came to it. Pretty soon, and that's gonna be me up there. So I'm about to climb Holyrood Mountain. I found my map. I'm not really studying it, but I will figure out which path I will take. And I'm excited. I love hiking, and the view from up there looks like it's gonna be amazing. We shall see. I think it takes an hour and a half. I don't know if I'm gonna time it, because I'm gonna be walking slow and enjoying my view. So as soon as I entered the park before I climbed the hill, I figured it'd probably be best to use the bathroom, which is way over there. So I had to cross this entire field just to go to the bathroom. But pretty soon I crossed it again and came back to the hill, and I was on my way. The path was already pretty rough. There was a lot of erosion and lumps and stuff in the grass. This was the first time I looked up, and already the view was really cool. That field was just huge. And I continued my climb. At least this part of the trail was a bit smoother. And I tried not to look around too much. I wanted to wait till I got to a better lookout point. And as you can tell, I'm already out of breath. But finally I had the reward to look around. And oh my gosh. This was only halfway up the hill, and already I could see so much. And with the wind blowing on the grass, it was just so majestic. There's that rock I found. Took a quick breather there. And of course I had to goof off a little, just so you have some context. I was really starting to see more of the city now too. So currently walking up Holyrood Mountain, or hill. It's hard to tell. It feels like a mountain. My goodness, it's a lot steeper than I thought. Thought I'd take a little small path detour. I think it goes to the edge, which I'm scared of heights. I like being up high, but looking down, I guess I'm scared of looking down at heights, if that makes sense. Either way, I'm kind of tired. I think I'm only halfway up, but it is amazing. Even from this height, you can see like the whole city. It's actually not too windy. I always heard it was super windy here, and it's very mild. I'm actually really hot in my jacket, but I don't want to take it off and carry that too. It's amazing. Also, I think that is Holyrood House, Palace of Holyrood House. I think it said that on the map. I love that you can see the ocean. We haven't gone to the beach yet, if there is a beach. But this view is just loving it. Oh, and I can see the castle. Right there. It's the castle. So I got some great shots of that, but I haven't gone up to it yet. Anyway, onward up. So something you should know about me is I am a photographer by heart and I guess a YouTuber by trade. Either way, you're going to be seeing a lot of artistic shots in this video because I just was having fun with it and I had so much I wanted to record. The way this hill climbs is a little unnerving, how close it looks to the edge. I mean, I think it slopes down a little bit, but I feel like I'm right on the edge. And I'm too scared to get too close. And I don't know how well you can tell how steep this is just by looking down. It's fairly steep. Looking up, doesn't look like it's much. Oh my goodness. I need to stop talking and start climbing. This is getting rough and steep and scary. So yes, the view from the edge of the cliff was pretty impressive, but I didn't dare get any closer. With the wind, even though it was mild, it could have still blown me over. My first bit of wildlife. Okay, so this climb was very steep, and the camera doesn't do it justice. But it was definitely worth it, and I don't know why, but for some reason I was like booking it up the hill. I was just so excited to see, so I think that just kind of made me a lot more tired. But I felt like I sped walked the whole way up the hill. But it was all worth it in the end, especially for the reveal at the very top. Of course, you don't get to see that yet because I made a point not to look up until I found the very tippy top of this section of the hill before I did my panoramic view. This rock was what I had my eye on as the very top. I mean, you could just see the whole city. Plus some. It was just, I don't know, it was so hard to describe. And I was just so happy I got to do this and experience this. And in a different country, no less. Okay, so now I pushed my fear of heights to the limit, I'd say, because I decided I would creep to the edge and peer over, which was really intense, and as you can tell, my body's like slightly shaking, and I couldn't do it for very long. It wasn't even that high up, but it seemed really high. It was scary. I couldn't even stand up that close. I had to back off slowly. And of course, I had to show you guys the view as well. Getting this shot, in of itself, was really difficult. I was so paranoid I would drop the camera. I had it like triple looped around my arm with the band. And honestly, the camera doesn't do it justice, because that didn't look scary at all. As you can tell, I'm having a blast. I'm at the top of this hill. I'm enjoying the view. And now it's time for lunch. Which I was very glad I brought a lunch, because I worked up an appetite just getting up that one hill. I also had some company. I don't know if it was a raven or a crow, but there was a lot of them around there. And it was really cool watching them dive off the cliff. Next, I decided to walk along the edge, kind of, to another overhang. See what the view was from this angle. Just as cool, I must say. Got to see a whole different side of the city, it looked like. That's my next stop. For some reason, I have this urge that I need to sing. I think I'm about to. Oh, my audience. It's a little crow. The hills are alive with the sound. It's probably best that the wind cut me off. My voice was not in pitch that day. So I'll spare you the rest of my singing. I don't think he liked my singing either. The further I got away from that original overhang, the cooler it started to look. It's like every new edge had something cool to offer. This shot shows better how steep it is. It was actually pretty difficult walking down. I'm so glad it was a dry day. Some of these steps were like a full few inches down. There goes a bird. But at least I still had a grand view walking down the hill. That's where I'm headed. I saw that a path went 2 different directions, but I wasn't sure which way to go yet. I was still pretty far away. But within a few minutes I was there, and I decided to take the steeper one, because, well, why not? I really liked how this path was, though. It had all these rocks that made perfect steps, which made it really easy to climb. Again, I don't know why I seemed to be walking so fast. I think I was just so anxious to get to the top and see the view from that point as well, that I think I probably wore myself out faster than I needed to. Again, I'm very winded, but this is so much fun. Now, I'm assuming this path is man-made. I can't see rocks forming like that naturally, but that must have been a lot of work because it was like that almost the entire way up the hill. Even at this point, there still seemed to be purposely laid rocks. I also had to be careful not to fall into the grass because there was a lot of thistle or burning nettle. Now I was finally in enough of a clearing that I could actually see the view. And I could tell I was already getting really high. So this was over halfway up, and then I looked over and realized these guys are just scaling the rock wall. Like it's nothing. Oh yeah, my ears started popping the higher I got on this hill. Which I didn't think the elevation was that high, but apparently it was just enough. Some of these steps were quite large, or maybe it's just because I'm so short. I was so exhausted, but I was getting there. I was so close now, I could feel it. Scheiße. That's what happens when you don't look up right away. Things be happening. More to go. This seemed like a decent place to stop and take a drink. Of course, every place was a good place to stop. The view was amazing wherever you went. But it's important to stay hydrated. So I came to this part in the path, which didn't really look like a path anymore, and I am so glad it wasn't raining because this all looked like clay and I'm sure was crazy slippery if it was wet. It was even slippery just as dirt. I had to kind of walk fast just to get enough grip to climb up. And I know this wasn't the very high point, but already it had such a crazy view. You could see more of the landscape, not just the city. But I wasn't to the top yet. Okay, now I'm at the top, at least of this hill. still had the other hill to climb. Actual author's seat. Also, what the heck was this? It was just in the middle of it, like there used to be a monument here maybe? I don't know. It was very random, I thought. Now I think you might be able to hear me since it's very windy up here. So if I talk right to the mic, you can hear me. Whoops. No. Okay. There we go. So I just reached the top of this point, and now I'm headed to that point. I think it's author's seat. Let's go check it out. Hopefully you can at least hear something I'm saying. Not that I have anything good to say because the view speaks for itself. And I have no words to compare. Other than, nope, nothing's coming to mind. I'm speechless. I'm tired. Oh my goodness, this is so steep. All right, here we go. I don't think I could do this with one hand. We shall see. Made it 20 feet up. Already needing a break. To be fair, it does feel like it's straight up. Oh, and I'm scared of heights. Trying not to think about it. Gonna make it to the top. I think I can. Jeez. There, now I'm at the top. The wind is trying to blow me over. I could sit here all day. So now it's time for a full 360 with me standing on the very tallest point that I could. And the wind was quite a bit stronger up here, so there was a few times where I kind of lost my footing and it was a little scary because the rocks I was standing on were so worn smooth from how many people have traveled there. Everything was really slippery. I did it. And I'm gonna fall. It's cold. Whew. I did it. I'm at the top. All right, so that over there is where I was before. So this one is quite a bit taller. That's the tippy top. And that's the ippy dippy down. So I heard down is usually faster, but what they don't tell you is there's an extremely fast way down, and that's straight down, but it might hurt. All right, so it's quite windy. I'm very nervous. Hopefully you can see me. Oh. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me well enough. Just recapping, climbing our author's seat. Quite the climb. I wouldn't say it's the tallest mountain I've been on, but the most pronounced one. Whew, the wind picked up. It's just like out here in the middle of Edinburgh, a mountain sticking straight up. which is just amazing, and everything here is just so cool. I am loving it, and I am not gonna have enough time here. I could spend a considerable amount of time here, I know it. I'm getting ready to head back down soon though, because I'm tired. And I've been out here all day climbing. Oh, but it's been so fun, and I can't get enough of these views, and I hope I captured it well enough because this was amazing, and I wanted to share my experience, and hopefully you guys get to experience it with me. If you've never done this and you're close by, do it for sure. Well worth it. And it wasn't that hard of a climb. It was pretty easy. Okay. Honestly, even if you're not close by, you still need to do it because it was so cool and so worth it. Even if you don't like hiking that much, it's still worth doing. Goodbye, mountain. It's been nice. Hello, ground. Don't let me fall. Oh gosh. It's like I'm scared of heights, so I don't want to look down. But yet I have to look down to go down. I'm just doing 1 foot at a time because this is a little unnerving. Like my legs are really shaking right now, and it's not just from all the walking. It's like there's a mountain I'm climbing and I'm going down it, so it's a little more scary. So basically all this content is just me freaking out and hopefully not dying. Although I suppose that would be good content too, but nah, it shouldn't come to that. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna have to go down this ditch. I'm hiding. My hair looks totally windblown, oh my gosh. I look crazy. Oops. I'm not crazy, okay? I'm just tired. Alright, I'm gonna have to put the camera away. I almost fell getting down just to this little gully. Okay. I can't look down. Oh gosh. Here we go. Eventually I did make it down into a normal path, but it did take a few minutes. And I couldn't even see where I was before. I was almost in the valley at this point. I was just trying to get back down to the bottom of the hill, and I came across some ruins. So of course I took a detour and checked that out real quick. It was pretty cool. And then I saw a pond. So finally I made it to the bottom of the hill, and it was quite relaxing being able to rest by this beautiful pond, surrounded by beautiful birds. So I will leave this video off here at the birds because I don't know, they're cool and I had this footage to share, so the end, I guess. And thanks so much for watching. Whew. Okay, I'm cold.